Hello, I'm José Roberto Moura, and today we're going to start showing a series of videos, one every day during 10 days, showing clinical cases, things that we find in our everyday practice, okay? So I hope you enjoyed. This is case number one. Case number one is a diastema closure that we're going to do between the centrals and the laterals, and also a small black triangle closing space that we're going to do right over here. You can't see that. That's probably looks like a very small black triangle, but because you have a lot of calculus around those teeth, so actually it is a little bit larger than that, and it's something that bothers the patient. And these type of restorations are very hard to do if you don't have the proper tools. Okay, so to resolve this case, we're going to use a special matrix that is matrices that are made by an American company called Bioclear. The Bioclear matrices, you have a bunch of them, there are several types of it, but there's a special one which is called the BT, which stands for Black Triangle Matrices, which can also be used to close diastemas. So we're going to use those matrices along with universal composite, which is called FieldTech Universal Composite by 3M. It is a simplified composite system where you don't have all those 16 shades, a lot of shades. You have just 8 shades. It's a very restrictive number of colors, but they match very thoroughly the Vita shade, the whole Vita shade guide, just with 8 colors. And another thing, it's only like a body shade. You don't have like enamel and dentin and everything. It's just one thing. It's just one composite. And that's what we're going to use to solve this case. Okay, so let's start. First thing we're going to do is going to disclosure and remove all those calculus, all those plaque, remove biofilm, remove everything that stands in the way of a good adhesive restoration. Okay, so we need good adhesion, and to achieve that, first thing, clean your tooth. And then we're going to use rubber jam isolation, and this is a tool that comes with the kit, which is it's used for you to measure the space. So once you stick that, it's kind of a probe, you put that probe in those spaces, and depending on how much it penetrates in the space between the two teeth, you're going to have a color that's coordinated with the color that you have for your matrices. So if you have a large space, your probe will go all the way up here, and then you're going to use the blue matrix. It's pretty simple. And then if you have a very small space, you're going to use the red matrix. Very simple. In this case here, you can see we're going to do just one central incisor, just this tooth first, one tooth at a time. So I'm going to use one matrix in mesial, one matrix at distal, and then we're going to put matrices in the other neighboring teeth. One tooth in each side. We're going to use one matrix just to ensure that we have the proper distribution of space right here. Okay, but we're going to do this tooth first. We're going to place those two matrices as if we're going to build like an aquarium around the tooth. All right. After we do that, we're going to do the acid etching, and very carefully making sure we're doing that at the buccal surface and in the lingual surface. I have to check that with a mirror. That's what we're doing over there, okay? We're checking with a mirror to see that we have the tooth properly conditioned. After that, you wash it thoroughly with water, and then you're going to place your adhesive. You place and scrub your adhesive through the whole tooth inside the matrix for at least 20 seconds. And then you evaporate the solvent thoroughly, very strongly, and then you're going to, I'm going to stop the video here just a little bit. Then we're going to do something that Bioclear suggests for you to do, which calls the injection molding. It's a way of placing the composite inside the matrix in a way that you're going to have a very hard, a very bubble-free body of composite, okay? So first you're going to inject between the matrices inside that aquarium, you're going to inject a heated flowable composite. Then you don't cure it. You don't cure it. And then you inject a heated composite, restorative composite, which in our case here we're going to use the Filtech Universal. Okay, so you inject the heated flowable, and then on top of the flowable, you inject the heated composite. All right, when you inject the heated composite, the restorative composite, it will move the flowable composite up and out towards the tooth. Okay, so it's kind of a replacing the flowable composite. Why do we use the flowable? So that we don't have bubbles. Okay, that's the important thing. We're going to have a monolithic restoration, just one piece of composite, very strong. Okay, that's our idea. So let's go on here with our restoration. So first I injected the flowable composite, and now the restorative composite, both of them heated, so it flows easier. Okay, so after that you fully polymerize all surfaces, and then you remove the matrices, and then after removing the matrices, you're going to do some, you're going to use your handpiece, and then you're going to remove most of the excess of the restoration. You just leave it a little bit of make your restoration a little bit higher than it usually is going to be at the end, so that you can check the occlusion properly after removing the rubber dam. Okay, so we're going to do like a simple primary anatomy, very simple anatomy. Just make sure you have the proper width and a little bit of more height of the tooth, so that you can, as I said before, you can check the occlusion later. So then afterwards, we're going to check. Let me stop here a little bit. We're going to place the matrix in the neighboring tooth, and then as I'm going to come back here just a little bit. Okay, see? When we're going to start the second tooth, you see, we placed those two matrices, mesial and distal in this case, okay? And then we placed an auxiliary matrix in the other tooth, but not in the tooth we had already restored. Why? Because we already have the right contour of that restoration, right over here. You have the right contour over there. So you don't need to put an extra matrix there. But in this tooth that we haven't restored yet, we're going to do it so that we can have the right distribution of this space right over here. Okay, so let's go on. So we're going to do the acid etching, rinse it thoroughly, and then after that we're going to scrub very hard, for at least 20 seconds your adhesive. Then after that you're going to inject the flowable composite, and then you're going to inject the restorative composite, both of them heated, okay, at around 63, 60, between 60 and 70 degrees centigrades. Okay, so after that you just make sure that your matrices are in place, the composite is well distributed inside that aquarium, and then you do the other two teeth after you finish that. So after finishing all the four of them, we do some primary anatomy, we do a little bit of finishing, and not the polishing yet, because we want to remove the rubber dam and making sure our occlusion is correct and the proportion and everything is in place, in the right place. So the final result is this one here, okay? Very simple, very easy, okay? Sounds, sometimes if you haven't heard about injection mold, you might find it pretty different in a way, but it's very easy to do it. If you of course, you have a learning curve, but it's something that it doesn't take you too long to learn that. And once you master it, you're gonna see it's very fast and easy to do the 4 restorations. Very simple. Okay, so that's the case. This is the case before and after. Just to mention, this patient is an old patient of ours. The first time I treated this patient was in 1998. I closed his diastemas, his upper diastema, which was a very large diastema. That I put 2 braces with a rubber band around them for 2 weeks, just to close the space a little bit so we can get a little bit of more proportion between those teeth. And then after doing that, we would restore the laterals first, just to make sure those 2 centrals would stay in place. after removing the rubber band and the bracket. And then after that, we restored the two centrals. Okay, we used at the time Herculite XRV and Renamel. Herculite from Kerr and Renamel from Cosmodent. So that's the patient right after we did the restoration, and he disappeared for like 11 years. And then after 11 years, he came back. Restorations were pretty good yet. I didn't do any maintenance in them for 11 years. So we did some maintenance, did some cleaning, repolished it, and then after that, patient came several times, and we kept track of those restorations for 20 after repolishing. We didn't repolish every time, okay? It was just like during this period of 20 years, we did that 3 times, only 3 times, okay? And then 21 years. So composite, just to make sure that composite is a great material, and it lasts long. It lasts a long time if you do it properly, if you use the right materials and the right technique. Okay, so these are the black triangle matrices. They come in 2 sizes. Okay, the four colors, the 4 sizes come in 2 groups, for small teeth and for large teeth. Okay, mainly for upper teeth, lower teeth, but the lower ones, the small ones, sometimes you can use them for small laterals, upper laterals. Okay, so those are the matrices. The kit comes, you know, each of those have those 4 sizes. Okay, and then you have this probe to help you choose which one is the proper matrix for the case you're doing. Okay, so injection molding, as I mentioned, this is the scheme and how Bioclear and 3M, how they suggest you to use it. So it's you etch, you bond. Sometimes a person once asked me if you have to light cure the bond. Here they say that do not cure. You do not cure if you have only enamel or just a little bit of dentin. But if you have a large part of dentin in your restoration, after applying your adhesive, you must, after applying the adhesive, evaporate the solvent, you must polymerize if you have a large amount of dentin exposed. But if it's mainly enamel, you don't need to polymerize the adhesive. But if you do polymerize the adhesive, before injecting the flowable, you put some amount of your adhesive again, evaporate the solvent, don't polymerize, just to make sure your flowable will flow through that adhesive, just to moisture the whole preparation, okay? So then you inject your Supreme Filtech, in this case, Filtech Supreme Flowable, heat it, don't cure it, and then you inject your Universal Filtech Supreme Ultra Universal or Filtech Supreme Ultra, either one of them, either Filtech Universal or Filtech Supreme Ultra, either one of them, but heat it, okay, all at once. Then you adapt the resin, remove the gross excess, and cure it, 10 seconds in each, occlusal, buccal, and lingual, okay? So just to make sure, this is a case that we have. It's a very easy case, but we have like a class 3 and some class 4. These are different matrices. Those are not the BTs. Those are the anterior Bioclear matrices. But the principle is the same. Just to show you once again how to do the injection molding. So you etch, you rinse, you place your adhesive. In this case, as we have a lot of dentin, we cure the adhesive and then make sure that the matrices are in the correct place. And then we before putting the flowable, as you see there, we put a little bit of adhesive again, and then you put the heated flowable, heated composite, everything at once, and then you adapt everything, and we're doing from the lingual tube, did from the buccal, did from the lingual, and then you polymerize it, okay? Remove excesses and make your polishing, your finishing and polishing as usual. And the final result is this one here, okay? One shade, just one shade of composite. That's it. And those are the results that we got, which I think it's pretty good. Okay? Okay, thank you very much. Muito obrigado in Portuguese. I hope you like it, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.